name is Mike Rufail. I'm the team owner at Team EnvyUs, and we're just an older esports organization at this point. We never really had the plan to create a big esports organization. I think that for me it was really just about my passion, playing the game. I was a former professional player in Call of Duty. I guess just transitioned from it being a hobby and a passion to wanting to support it as a business because we didn't want to disappoint the fans. We wanted to keep the brand going even after the old players were finished playing, on the team. So we began to sign new players, and we established a business and began to run like any other big sports organization. We tried to model the business after a sports team. It's a business. You have to have a business sense. If you don't have a sense for business, then you're setting yourself up for failure, right? So you need to actually have a passion for educating yourself in business and having the mindset to really focus on certain parts of a company. A team in esports is still a company. It has to have money coming in. It has to spend money in ways that can support the players and your staff, and you have to make sure that you're managing the business in a way that you can always continue to grow, and if you don't, you're going to fail, right? So I think that's maybe the biggest issue with many of the teams that try to do this, the new teams that try to come in and create an esports organization. Maybe they know esports and they know gaming, but they just don't know business, or they fail to really focus and take the time to learn the business. So I think that's where a lot of teams fail and where a lot of teams actually succeed in actually focusing on the business side more than they do on maybe the esports side sometimes. Yeah, I'm the managing director of the organization. Even though I'm the team owner, I still take a very hands-on approach. Even with our Overwatch team here in Gamescom right now, I'm on the stage with the players giving them advice and things that can help them in the game because I have this experience. So for us, our main focus is winning, and I think there are very few teams actually in esports that just want to win. As a business, like the business model is winning, and I think that's our primary business model. And I think that shows because right now I think we're the top performing team in the world in esports. The primary focus for us has always been competition first, worry about pleasing everyone else second, Let's go out and win trophies, or at least be very competitive and be on the podium. Yeah, it's still very important to manage a fan base, and I think we do a pretty good job of that. But as a business in esports and as a company, we're still very early, in the business. And for me, it was really about focusing and creating a tradition first, a tradition of winning, not losing. There are two things you can do. You can create a tradition of winning and a tradition of losing. And obviously most teams create a tradition of losing right now. There can only be so many champions, right? Later, for us right now, a big focus of the business is now to please the fans more, to give them more access to the players and to our teams, and to give them more content and things to watch, and more fun things built around the winning tradition that we already have. You have to believe in a game. You have to believe that people will like to watch a game. As a big, I think the biggest metric for teams, to support an organization or to support a team in an organization. The new game that's coming out, the new video game, you have to believe that people are going to want to watch other people play this game in a competition. And that's the biggest hurdle that we have to jump, to jump over. But at the end of the day, we also believe in games that are competitive, games where we feel take a lot of skill, and we want to support teams to show that skill, players to show that skill. So in one way, it's about how many people are watching, and on another scale, it's how skillful is the game. Can we support players that can show amazing talent? Right now, we don't, as organizations, in traditional sports, they have like television media rights deals, where the teams have a revenue sharing of television rights, and this is much bigger money than sponsorships. It's the majority of the money in professional sports is based on television networks and broadcast networks paying for the rights for the teams to appear on television and in leagues, right? So right now in esports, we don't have any share of this, and I think that's the next step, is to maybe start beginning to appear on television and for teams to be able to create a revenue stream from the media rights, because surely in professional sports all over the world, that's where the majority of the money is coming from before sponsorship. So it's this first and then sponsorship second. It's still in its beginning, and I think that it's very, very important to set this standard for the teams right now, to make sure that if television media rights, for example, comes right now, we're not owed anything, no money, to the teams or the players. It can go to just the businesses behind the scenes, but ultimately the reason people are watching esports is because of the players and the teams, right? They're not watching because of the tournament organizer, they're watching because of the players and the teams. To me, it's very important for us to legally be entitled to receive a share, and we're not greedy with it, but it's very important to create an ecosystem that's similar to professional sports, something close, and start with this and evolve this. And if we don't, then we'll never grow, in my opinion, in the way that other sports have. So for me, it's very important to have people accept it, because it's been accepted for years in many other sports, so why can't it be accepted in esports? Yeah, I think you have to start somewhere with franchising. I think it's really important, because the way things are right now, you have new teams that are always coming in, and some of these teams completely do not run a good business, and they end up managing to sign really good players, but then they don't support the players in the proper way. You can find amazing organizations in esports right now who have been doing this for years and doing a good job of supporting their players and creating a very good environment for players. And I think a lot of these other teams create a very bad reflection of the other teams that are doing it properly. It's important to maybe create a franchise system for that reason, to protect, players themselves from organizations that are maybe like predators, or organizations that just have no idea what they're doing. They're just really bad at running a business. So that's one thing, but also just unity among the organizations to set standards and more rules that are standard across all the competitions, right? Things that make it easier for the fans to follow and create easier storylines, Sometimes it's very hard for a fan to follow this tournament and then 5 different tournaments. They all have different rules. So it's very difficult sometimes, and I think that hurts us. So I think franchising helps with that. It makes people familiar with the teams more, and it allows them to follow the story better. I don't think franchising impacts the quality of the show negatively. It's only positive. I think it can only be positive. I mean, you still see the same big esports organizations competing now on the big stage here, right? And it's because the players in a new game like, for example, Overwatch, want to play for the bigger organizations because they know it's safe. They know it's a safe place that other players for many years have played in and have made great careers and made money and been successful and have been able to achieve a certain amount of success. We always want to raise the bar, The past has been good, but we can always make it better. I don't think it hurts anything by franchising with good organizations that are running a good business. I don't see how that can ever be negative. I think the biggest thing that you can see in the future is some of the bigger teams starting to create their own facilities, like we are. Like we're trying to look to build our own arena because, right now we're traveling all over the place to play games, but, we want to be able to give a place where our fans can come watch us play locally, wherever we decide to put the arena, right? Right now we're located in Charlotte, North Carolina, and we want to build an arena there so that people can come and watch our team play. And I think more teams will do this. I think more teams will do something like this. I think you're going to see bigger tournaments and bigger stadiums, bigger arenas. And I think you're going to see more television, more things on television for esports. And I hope that that's successful.